So, have you ever wondered why, when you stop manifesting or stop doing the things or the routines to manifest, because you're always manifesting, or you just decide to kind of let go of it, it seems to come to you? Have you ever wondered why that happens? If reality is nothing but your assumptions, then why is that when you stop doing it or stop following the routines, or when you detach, as a lot of people like to say, a lot of people like to attach themselves to detachment. Oh my god, detachment is gonna give me that, but they don't even know why that happens. So this is gonna be a very, very good, very quick lesson on why that happens, and it's gonna give you so much insight into what's really going on when it comes to conscious creation, which actually nobody really talks about. They don't know the why behind what they're saying. So that's what we're gonna uncover in this video. So let's just say this is you, okay? And now here you decide, this limited self decides that, I want more money, okay? Decides to manifest money. And then what happens is that you start focusing on, I'm rich. Now, because you are coming from a limited space, meaning you have some limitations, you have some doubt about you being a rich person, what happens is that limited self, which is already a part of you and has been a part of you for a long time, at the same time that part of you pushes doubts very subconsciously. All right, so when you start focusing on I'm rich, you're also at the same time subconsciously somewhere doubting if you're rich or not. Now, not to say that the doubts are always going to exist if you're doing the work correctly, if you're also at the same time working on finding your limitations and targeting those and working on those and just negating them, helping your mind understand that your limitations are not true. Over time, the doubts disappear. Yes. All right. But in most cases, what I've seen, and with my clients also what I've seen, is that when they're coming from a limited space, they start focusing on that I'm rich. And then obviously because they already have that limited self present in them, that limited self pushes doubts on I'm rich very subconsciously. A side note, but if the person persists with this, the doubts are eventually going to go away. But let's just say in this case that didn't happen. The person didn't persist long enough and, kind of decided to not manifest anymore because the person is not seeing any movement, okay? But because the person was focusing on this is just one example, it still created some neural circuits in their mind, and it also built their self-concept. Now you might ask how me saying I'm rich is building my self-concept, or me saying money is pouring in is building my self-concept. I will link a video down below how that happens, how when you affirm about somebody else or something else, how it builds you up also. I will link that down below, but it also builds your self-concept. Now this person decided to, fuck it, nothing's really happening, I'm not gonna follow these manifesting routines anymore, or he or she just decides, it's not working, I'm just gonna let it go, maybe I'm just too attached to it. What happens then is the person starts to just live their life and not focus on I am rich, okay? And then what happens is, because person decided to just fuck it and just starts to live life, the limited self, which is still present, is no longer sending those doubts, because those doubts were triggered when the person said I'm rich. The doubts were more evident when the person said I'm rich. Now that the person is no longer focusing on that side of the person is also not triggered that much. All right, now the person is distracted and the mind still has the impressions of I'm rich from this, the neural circuits of I'm rich, okay? And a little bit of improved self-concept as well because of the work this person did. Now that the person is no longer hyper-focused on I'm rich and the doubts are no longer getting triggered, it actually manifests. Why? Because before, the person was saying I'm rich, but that same person was also very subconsciously doubting if he or she is rich or not. So doubts can look like, let's just say you're saying I'm rich, and then very subconsciously you're just asking yourself, but I don't know where it's going to come from. Now, sometimes you're not verbalizing it. If you've watched my video on manifestation for beginners, which you should watch if you haven't already, I tell you guys how sometimes you're not even verbalizing things but still there in your subconscious mind, and in that video I also teach you that those are your hidden subconscious limitations. So sometimes you're not verbally saying it but subconsciously you are saying it, you are doubting it, your mind is but I don't know where it's going to come from. That is a doubt. So if you're constantly saying I'm rich, but then at the same time you're doubting it, guess what? The doubt is going to manifest because you have a lot of experience in experiencing those doubts, all right? So the only reason why it finally kind of manifests when you kind of let go or decide not to manifest anymore is because now the doubts are not triggered anymore. You're not really even focusing on that. And doubts are not triggered. So you're not doubting it subconsciously also, but you already have the impressions from the work you just did. And now that you're no longer doubting it, it manifests. But here's the catch. If this work still didn't create good enough self-concept to support this idea of I'm rich, it's still not gonna happen. Still the letting go, so-called detachment is not gonna do shit if the self-concept isn't there yet. If there are some possibilities in your self-concept, like you're still somewhere deep down believe, yeah, it can happen for me, it's gonna happen. But if you do not at all believe at all in your subconscious mind and your doubts are much more dominant than the work you did here, it's still not gonna manifest. Letting go and detaching is still not gonna do shit. So what are the key takeaways from this discussion? It is that first of all, not always that letting go or detaching is going to work in your favor, because if your self-concept is still not there, it's not going to work out. The second thing, which is really important that we understood from this discussion, is that the only reason why you're not still seeing your manifestation is maybe because you're still somewhere doubting it in some way, shape, or form. And it's okay, because if the person in this example persisted with the work, he or she would have actually created a good self-concept, which would eventually have canceled those doubts and turned those doubts into confidence and knowing that, yeah, it's going to happen for me, and that would have eventually manifested. So what I'm trying to say with this video is just all the work that we do it to just get rid of any contradiction, anything which says otherwise than what we want to experience in our life, all right? And letting go and detachment doesn't always work. If you do not really understand what letting go or detachment is and why is actually helping some people manifest, you're gonna kind of, copy other people just because they got what they wanted by letting go or detaching. But when you are doing the same thing, you're not getting what you want just because of the reason I just showed you. Maybe they got it because they had a good self-concept by then, and when they stopped focusing on it that much, they also stopped doubting it, but they already also have a good supporting beliefs that supported their end goal. Hope this is making sense. So do not get lost in the trap of letting go and detachment. Just understand that manifestation is nothing but knowing that what I'm saying has no choice but to manifest. And if I right now do not completely believe that this is a possibility for me, eventually the more I persist, my brain is going to accept the idea, because that's how your brain works. The more you force yourself to focus on, and initially it feels like forcing, the more you force yourself to focus on what you want to experience, your new version of yourself, and the more you take your awareness away from the things that you don't want to experience anymore, the faster it will happen for you. So there's no such thing as detachment. Let it go, don't worry about it. I've heard like little manifestation coaches talking as if they have no clue about what's happening. They talk about, oh, detach yourself from the goal, but also just keep on focusing on it. Like, it confuses people, especially if they don't know why. And you also do not know why that happens. This is the reason why it happens. I will link my video on detachment, what detachment really is. Please do not confuse it with I have to be okay with me not having it. No. In my previous videos, I have also talked about if you are okay with not having this very specific thing, it shows that you have a good self-concept. But I talked about it in a very different scenario. I will link that video down as well. But I myself do not completely agree with what I said in that video also, because I grew so much since then. But I will definitely link the video on detachment down below. And that's the thing, like as you evolve, and I'm also evolving quite a lot. When I look back and watch my older videos, I realize what the fuck was I saying in that video? Like, that's not true at all. So I have no problem admitting and seeing what was wrong in what I was saying. So all in all, you don't have to be okay with it not happening, okay? What you need to do is you just need to create a knowing. There's no such thing as letting go. And I just showed you why it manifests. But the thing is, the letting go thing, the detaching thing, it only works for some people, not for everybody. And I'm speaking from my own experience when I did not have much knowledge about manifestation and I was kind of lost, and these people were teaching about letting go and detachment, and at the same time they were teaching, oh, you have to persist in focusing on this goal. I was really confused. I did try to detach and let go and, you know, try to be okay with not having it, and didn't work out for me because my self-concept was not there. No amount of me letting it go, detaching from it really worked because I had no supporting beliefs, right? I had no belief in my self-concept that could support what I was manifesting. So do not get confused. My channel is all about giving you guys clarity, all right? Giving you guys clarity who most of the people in this community are just not able to, you know, provide clarity as to why certain thing happens. But I'm here for you because I was also in your place, right? So if you have any doubts, put them down in the comment section below. I love to answer questions. And yeah, other than that, I'll see you guys in my next video.